Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahi Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Sai Ram. Good evening and welcome to this special meditation on the occasion of Budha Purnima. That is the celebration of a full moon night, a very special full moon night, when Buddha took birth. He was born on this particular full moon night. They say that he got enlightened on this full moon night, and he also did his Mahanirvan, or that he merged or he left his body on this particular day. So therefore it's a very special day. And therefore it is important to understand who is Buddha. Then only we can meditate on the aspect of Buddha. And is Buddha a person, or is Buddha a part of us? So Buddha is the one who has transcended this world. And we are all Buddhas in the making. What do we mean by Buddha transcended the world? There's a beautiful example that Buddha gave himself when someone asked him who he was. He said, just like a seed of lotus which is thrown into water, this seed under the surface of the water starts to grow, and slowly it starts to rise up, and ultimately one day it rises above the water, and then the flower, the lotus flower, starts to bloom, and it leaves behind the water, the mud, and all its surroundings, and rises above the world in which it was born. So when we say that Buddha transcended this world, then Buddha, though he was born in this world like all of us, Buddha was able to rise above this world, which means that Buddha was no longer affected by this world, was no longer attached to this world, and Buddha was free from all the influences, all the attractions, and all the attachments of this world. And Buddha described himself as that I should be remembered as the one who woke up. What does it mean to wake up? We wake up from a slumber. We wake up from sleep. So, what is this sleep that he is referring to when he said that I should be remembered as the person who woke up? So, what is this sleep? The sleep refers to this samsara or the world in which we find ourselves fully entangled, caught up. Because the way this world operates is that everything is interconnected. Cause and effect, cause and effect. And this cause and effect, like the warp and the weft, they keep coming together and they keep creating this samsara or this world. And it's a continuous chain, it just keeps building, it keeps building. So if there is this, then there must be that. And it's a constant interaction between this and that this world keeps manifesting itself. And we have been discussing these aspects in the Atma Chalisa and thereafter in our sessions, that the primal cause is inside each one of us, because the thoughts arise from us and those thoughts create a whole series of reactions. And these thoughts create reactions inside of us. And because of what is happening inside of us, which we call as this, it triggers off something in someone else, and that becomes that. So the starting point is this, which is inside of us, and that creates something outside of us as a reaction or a response, which is called that. And this constant interaction of a this and a that, they keep coming together and they keep creating the fabric of samsara or this world. So for all that we react to and all that we feel, whether it's fear, anger, anxiety, irritation, it is all inside of us. There is nothing outside of us, because the samsara is the sleep that Buddha refers to. Because we are asleep, we are ignorant, we think there is a world. And being a Buddha is to wake up from this sleep. So all that we are engaged in and we are reacting to and we are interacting with is nothing but what is arising inside of us. Everything on the outside is just consciousness standing as a mirror, reflecting it back to us. So the question that we should not ask is, why did this reaction come to me? Why did someone or something or some situation occurred in my life? But the important question is, why did I react to it? Why did it upset me? Why did it trigger me off? Because the starting point is all within me. Because this starting point creates the whole sleep, it creates the world, it creates our entrapment, and it is that muddy water under which the plant of lotus is. And like the lotus, which is trying to break through the surface of the muddy water so that it can bloom in its full glory, so too is what we are seeking to reach, that stage where we wake up from this dream of this samsara that we have created in our thoughts, in our feelings, in our emotions, and to break free from it, unencumbered, unentangled, free. We also want to wake up from this sleep, wake up from this dream. And when we wake up, then this waking up helps us to become that enlightened one, or the Buddha. And Buddha said that once you awaken, and for those who are on the path of awakening, he gave a very simple mantra. That how do you reach that stage? What is the enabler that takes us there? Where he said, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami, Sangam Sharanam Gacchami. That when you don't know the path, when you don't understand the way, he said, take refuge in the Buddha. And Buddha is that higher consciousness. Buddha is the unencumbered one. Buddha is the one who has woken up from this dream of samsara. Buddha is the one who is detached. Buddha is pure consciousness. Buddha is that mirror. Buddha is that reflection. Buddha is that higher consciousness, which is where we want to see ourselves, experience ourselves all the time. And he said, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami, that take refuge in the path of righteousness. And he gives a path, an eightfold path. But essentially he's saying, follow the path of righteousness. And then he says, take refuge in Sangha, in the company of like-minded people who are all on this journey of seeking to become a Buddha, the enlightened ones, which we call in our language as satsanga. And he says, if you remain in this refuge of the higher consciousness, if you remain following the path of righteousness, and if you remain in the company of all those who are constantly striving and seeking to be on that path, it will ultimately make us break the chains of this samsara, and we will also wake up from this dream, from this slumber, from this ignorance. And when you wake up, knowing that everything is interconnected, knowing that it is the thought in you which is creating it, knowing that everything is brewing inside of us which is creating everything outside of us. So instead of getting into this game of blame and judgment and thoughts and opinions, the only way to shut this is to silence our thoughts. And that's the reason when you see Buddha, when you see an image of Buddha as is drawn, he is always meditating. He is calm, he is still, his eyes are closed, he is sitting erect. There is a joy and peace on his face, and he is absolutely silent and still. And this is the stillness that we are going to experience tonight. This is the stillness that we seek. And when we start practicing this stillness, this meditation, morning and evening, and we start calming ourselves down, and as we start seeking to become that Buddha, that higher consciousness, so when we remain in the goal that this is what we are seeking, and we start practicing this stillness, all these thoughts start to disappear. As long as we are engaged, as long as we keep adding, as long as we keep participating, as long as we keep enjoying, as long as we keep interacting, it continues to, our senses continues to keep creating more and more thoughts in us. So there has to be a cave where we can withdraw every day for as many times as we want, where we start experiencing this silence and stillness. Because that is when equanimity will come. That is when we will start becoming equal-minded, when all responses and reactions will go away from us. When we'll stop blaming the world and people for our misery and our reactions. When we will take responsibility and say that everything happens inside of me. There is nothing outside other than pure consciousness. And this will come only in this meditation. It will only come when we start practicing the stillness. And when we start enjoying the stillness. And as long as we keep operating out of our mind, and as we keep justifying, and as long as we keep reasoning things out, then we are only going to continue to be stuck in the same place, not moving an inch, despite having all the knowledge of the world. We still remain where we are. So knowing this is so important. Knowing that where we get stuck, we have the ability to take ourselves out of it. As always, The seed of consciousness is within each one of us. It's just waiting to bloom. We have to feed it with the right nutrition, with the right amount of light for it to start blooming. We're all in the cusp of this blooming, and we're celebrating this night, which is so powerful because of three most important events that happened on this night. So, like the night of Shivratri, which is very auspicious for blooming of consciousness, even the Budha Purnima night is extremely auspicious, and especially at a time when the energies on our planet are at its peak. I pray to the Buddha in each one of you and to the higher consciousness to today give us the experience of the Buddha in us. So if you can close your eyes, bring your awareness to your third eye, and imagine yourself sitting in the posture of how you perceive Buddha sitting, and experience that your body has transformed into the body of Buddha. And you're now resembling that favorite image of Buddha in your mind. So today, it is Buddha that is going to meditate. Experience the stillness of Buddha today, and experience the blossoming of the lotus inside of you. May you all become one in this nothingness. May all your ideas and beliefs about your own self all dissolve to become nothing. This nothingness is our true reality. Because it's nothingness that gave birth to everything. And it is in this stillness that this state of nothingness is achieved. And the Buddha in us blossoms. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami Sangham Sharanam Gacchami Buddham Sharanam Gacchami Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami Sangham Sharanam Gacchami Buddham Sharanam Gacchami Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Sai Ishwaraya Arpanamastu. Sai Ram, love and blessings to all.